In 2009, I was diagnosed with a tumor at the base of my brain. And this was on my pituitary. And it caused me to have actually a rare life-threatening condition. On top of that, I also had to deal with some significant secondary conditions that were not conducive to me living a happy and healthy life. I ended up being severely fatigued. And I'm not talking tired or sleepy. I'm saying that I can't actually physically move. I'm a massage therapist. At that time, I had been in business for about 8 years. It was a thriving practice. So me not being able to participate in my work with my husband, I rescue animals and rehabilitate them when they're physically and or have any injuries or illness. I was not able to participate in all of this. So I had to make some changes, and when they put me on significant medications to be able to knock the fatigue out, I was thankful for that. But it was a challenge trying to figure out what medications will work, what doesn't work. They were ever evolving. I started to feel really toxic. And in my exploration of the pituitary tumor, it was noted that it was potentially an inflammatory process. As a massage therapist, my office is actually in Dr. Jamie Gathiel's office building. And I knew that she was starting to work with standard process, and she was running her own tests, using it on herself and not really advertising it. But I did see huge changes with her. And of course, I'm friends with Mike as well, her husband. And I saw huge changes with him. So I thought, you know, I need to go on to some sort of program. I've been eating like this for 36 years. All I knew is I needed to get rid of inflammation and try and shrink this tumor. It was the only control I had at this point. I'm a fixer, so I had to get this done. So Jamie set me up. I had no idea what I was doing. I was excited that the first part of the program was vegan, because I've always wanted to be more of a vegetarian vegan. I thought, okay, this is gonna be great. It's gonna help me in that way as well. Started the program, and 3 days into it, I have to be honest, I was done. I'm like, this is too hard. I can't do this. And then I looked at the money that I spent on it and went, okay, you just got to keep pushing forward. I said, the pain of going on a diet is less pain than dealing with this brain tumor and dealing with the chronic inflammation. So I pushed through and completed the program successfully. It was great. Then I began to eat the junk again. And this was at the beginning of the year that I did this program, and I started eating the junk again, a little bit more soda, eating out a little bit more, and that's when I can really feel how bad I used to feel. So it wasn't until I went back to eating bad food that I recognized how bad I was prior to going on to the purification process. So I redid it again. I signed up with Jamie. I said, I want to do the purification process again. This was in November. Went all the way through it. And it was much easier the second time, obviously, because I kind of knew what I was doing. It happened to be that my updated doctor's appointment to have a brain MRI was just after that second time. But I also noticed that my medications changed. And I went and had the MRI, and the brain tumor shrunk so much they can barely see it. I thought, oh my gosh, this is fantastic. So also what I noted is those medications to keep me functional, that, by the way, my doctor told me that I would never get off of, I started becoming weaned off of those medications. It's now 6 years later since I did the purification diet. They cannot find the tumor at all on my pituitary. I am no longer on the medications for the fatigue issue. The other little things that I noticed is that all the inflammation in my body, you know, the chronic body pain that you would have, just normal adult stuff, all of that is gone. And it's kind of a really nice barometer now when I start to, because I'm human, there's times I might indulge in some chips at a party or do this and that. My body reminds me, you shouldn't be doing this. What I ended up doing, because yes, it does change things socially. It was difficult with my husband because he didn't know what was going on with my food. He loves to cook for me, and that's part of his love for me, and I took that away from him. But we learned how to cook differently together. And in fact, he saw the changes in me, that he started to eat differently as well. I really I changed my thought process that I am going to fuel my brain and my body instead of just stuffing my stomach with food. And because of that, I am healthier, I'm better. Yes, I do still have my medical problem. The damage is done to my pituitary, but the symptoms of it all is far less than what they used to be. So I can attest to the changes of eating. I can attest to that having a program that kind of conforms you, helps you on that process. I have so many friends, parents who have gone on this program. We're not all the same on the other end. You figure out what works for you, but it's been a beautiful way to allow me to thrive in my life.